How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Fourth Fake Guru podcast. I'm your host, Kristian Jamal, with your co-hosts, Amel Kilic and Ra Ibrahim. We are going to bring you the best entrepreneurs, the best guests that we possibly know or can know, so you can get a ton of value. And we're just gonna sit down here, chop it up. Today, our guest is a very, very special man, the king of St. Petersburg's SEO. Okay, we have Kristian Dan with us. How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Fake guru, let's go. Everything fake. Fake cars, fake houses, fake results.
Yes, sir. Fake Rolls Royce.
Fake Rolls Royce, fake rap on the rolls.
So we're going to talk about all that. I'm super excited to chop up like your marketing, your personal branding, all that stuff. If you guys don't know, he's an absolute genius when it comes to personal branding. We're going to talk about that as well. But let's dive into your story a little bit. I know you and Amel were talking before the podcast. Amel, why don't you lead this conversation and take us to where it all started, man?
Yeah.
100%. So, I mean, I know we spoke earlier, but like I like to know where people came from because a lot of us, had jobs or we were doing something else. But that shift, people don't understand how to take that shift and make that leap. I kind of want to hear your story because you mentioned that you were a personal trainer, right?
Yeah.
What made you go from being a personal trainer to starting your own business?
Yeah, so, I mean, the way that it clicked was I mentioned I did search engine optimization for a while. I learned it while I was going to school for marketing. I ended up leaving that because I hated that corporate environment, but I realized it wasn't search engine optimization that I hated. But I went to personal training because that's what I knew. At one point in my life, I lost 90 pounds. Damn. So I lost almost a whole human in weight. And then I loved personal training, helping people get that result. So I went to personal training. And then a few years down the road of doing that, that's when I started building Lux. That's when I started building the SEO company because I had someone come to me and they needed the service. I knew how to do it very, very well. So I ended up offering that to them, got them amazing results. Then they told one of their friends, it was a big company too. They ended up wanting services as well. And it was like, man, this is my opportunity to transition out of personal training. As much as I loved it and loved helping people get the result that I did, it wasn't going to give me the lifestyle that I wanted. So I knew I had to make a transition. Also, I went to school for marketing. I learned digital marketing. So I had all these skill sets that I just needed to, make a business of and apply it. I knew we could help, maybe we're not helping people lose weight, but I've helped people make a ton of money over the 15 years that I've been doing search engine optimization, 7 years as a company at Lux.
Did you charge your first client or was it like kind of like a free thing?
Yeah, so that's exactly how it started. It was a free thing, kind of. It was a barter. So you can see I have a couple of tattoos, just one or two. But it started off a barter. My buddy was like, hey, do you want to get some free tats? I was like, fuck yes, I'm totally down. Can I do that? Can I curse on the podcast? Beep. But I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we ended up bartering, got them number one for anybody looking for like St. Pete Tattoo Company, tattoo shops, any variation that you look up, tattoos in St. Pete, number one across the board. Obviously, he has people in his seat all day long tattooing. So started telling some of those people, like, we're crushing it. Obviously, like all the leads started funneling in. Hey, we found you at top. Then he started telling people why they were number one on there. And that's how it kind of started to spiderweb from there. Just from like the quality of our service is what started to generate us a ton of referrals. But yeah, we actually still work with that tattoo company 8 years later.
Is he still giving you tattoos or what?
Yeah, yep. I'm on my last leg, literally on my last leg. And then I finished the bodysuit.
Damn.
Okay. That's crazy. Chest, back, everything?
Chest, back, stomach, everything. This leg, 2 arms. So literally on my last leg, I'm halfway done with it.
Did you teach yourself how to do SEO or?
So it was 2 steps. So I did work at a digital marketing agency. I got a job before I even graduated marketing. I ended up still finishing. Took me a little bit longer to finish college because of that reason, because I was already working. I learned a lot there, and then I started to step out and self-teach, reading books, going through courses, anything that I could get my hands on as far as education and resources. I started to learn that. Funny story. Then I would go back into our meetings at the agency that I was at. We would have like a team meeting, analyze all the clients together as a whole owner. Everybody was there. And then the person that had taught me at that agency that I came in under, I was speaking up at these meetings and saying, hey, well, we should move text to the right hand of the page or move it up to this part because Google reads from right to left, top to bottom. And then I started kind of saying more on what we should do.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, what's going on? Like, you're the new hire and you're the one that's giving all the feedback to get these results.
Yeah.
So it kind of flipped. I didn't limit myself as to what I was taught. I went out and I wanted to learn even more so I can be the best at it.
How long did it take you, would you say,
To learn it?
to be good at it? Yeah.
It's been like 14, 15 years that I've been doing it, but I'd probably say like the first 3 years. I mean, and in a lot of it though, here's the thing, it's constantly evolving because
Yeah.
there are always Google updates. So, you have to continuously stay up with the updates. What I learned 3 years ago is different than today, right? Today it's like website speed, user experience, things that didn't matter 14 years ago that matter today. So if you're not constantly educating yourself, constantly staying up to date with these updates, and you still just use what happened, like, dude, 14 years ago, people were doing all types of spammy black hat bullshit tactics that if you do that today, you get penalized and de-indexed, meaning you won't even show up as an option on Google if you do any of those tactics. That did work 14 years ago.
Okay.
So, I guess I learned it in the first couple of years, but it's ongoing because you always have to stay up to date with those, with the updates, Google's updates.
What would you say are the 3 like best things that someone should do if they're trying to fix their SEO?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we start with keyword research. Keyword research is the most important part, knowing what you're aiming at. Because if you have everything else right, but you did your keyword research wrong, it doesn't matter. I've had people come to me and say, hey, I'm number 1 for this keyword, but I'm not getting any business. What's going on? I put it into one of our tools. I can see, what people are searching for, how many people a month, all the ins and outs. Said, hey, well, this keyword has 0 people a month searching for it. That's why you're not getting any business, because you're going after something that is irrelevant. Nobody is searching for it. So I always say keyword research is the most important part, because if you're aiming at the wrong target, you can do everything else right, and it doesn't fucking matter. But the biggest part of Google's algorithm is like building those backlinks, links from external websites that go to yours. So the way that Google works is like every single website's assigned an authority score, scale 0 to 100. There's free checkers. You can go out and check your website's authority score and see what it is. But the closer you are to 100, the better that you rank. And my analogy to kind of simplify it is hang out with the cool kids. By association, you're cool too. When Google sees a bunch of other high authority websites linking to you, then your authority goes up. Now, you don't want to just throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks. You want to make sure, like, for example, if I'm in digital marketing, we practice what we preach. We've scaled with our own SEO. So we're backlinking on digital marketing related websites, SEO related websites. If I'm doing this for a client that's in the roofing space, I'm going to be on home improvement related websites. Again, authority score needs to be higher than ours, because that's what makes us go up. So
before you jump to the third one, how do you do that though? And I'm sure like this is kind of like sharing your secret, share what you want. But like, how do you get on those websites?
We can drop some golden nuggets.
Because like for us, it's like people pitch us like, I'll get you on 100 backlinks, but they're probably just like BS like websites.
That's the old school method. 100 backlinks. Those are usually from link farms or private blog networks, where it's like, I mean, people all day I talk to people and they're like, oh, I bought 100 links off of Fiverr. Fuck Fiverr.
Yeah.
Fiverr. Don't go on that for anything SEO related. Sometimes you can get some good things on there. Maybe a quick graphic for $5, $10.
Yeah.
SEO services, anything performance based on Fiverr is ass. It does not work. They use those spammy tactics, right? 100 backlinks, but they're all websites that are built from the same location with the same IP address. Google can read right through that, and it's not going to help you. It's only going to hurt you. That's how you end up getting de-indexed. The way that we do it is we go to like directory websites, blog directory websites, and this is really giving real game here. And let's say it's for a roofing company. We'll go into the home improvement section on this blog directory. Here's a list of all of the home improvement blogs out there. And then what we're doing is checking their domain authority, checking their IP addresses as well to make sure that each of these are unique. And then what we do is we do guest blog outreach. We're reaching out to them saying, hey, you know, we have a client that's done these recent posts. they would like to do a topic on 3 things you should know before buying a roof. And then our team writes the content. We embed that link with the target keyword that we're looking to go after. We send it to that website, financially compensate that website, because these websites know what we're trying to do, and it's not just give them a free article on 3 things to do about roofing. They know we want a link on their website, so they request compensation. It's a big back and forth, right? Sometimes we got to negotiate too, like, okay, this is too much. So, that guest blogs are very powerful when building backlinks. A lot of people back in the day, they're doing directory submissions. I can go on Angie's List, white pages, yellow pages, whatever. Put my business on there, Foursquare, put my business on there. Now I technically have a link on an external website that goes back to me. But Google also recognized that people were just doing that method to increase their own authority. So now there's no assigned value to it. You don't get any what's called link juice or link authority from that. So, when it comes to building backlinks through guest blogs, you want to make sure they're relevant. You want them relevant to the industry, high authority. Make sure it's a unique IP address. And also make sure it fits in the budget. I've seen people want $7,000 for one backlink on their website.
Yeah.
So,
So what's the third thing? So keyword research, backlinks. What would you say was the third one?
I'd probably say on-site SEO, making sure that you're actually using the proper keywords on your website, right? Our process would usually be like doing the keyword research, finding out what people are searching for, then creating content on the website around those words that people are searching and implementing them strategically, not spamming. Because back in the day, they used keyword stuffing. I don't know if you guys ever saw this, but I don't know, 10 years ago, what they would do is they would put all of the keywords in the footer, but if it's a white footer, they would make all the text white.
No way.
So that you can't see the words, but they're all there, so they're all stuffed. So the website on every single page, because the footer's on every single page, you have the keywords on every single page. And it's just like keyword. It's not a paragraph. It's not a sentence. It makes no sense. It was just fucking spam keywords. Put it in the footer, make it invisible.
Did it used to work back then?
It used to work back then. Now you do that and you will get penalized. You will get
We gotta
removed.
delete ours, Christian.
One of the newest updates too, Google's helpful content, things that are like duplicate, spam, or anything like that. A lot of websites got penalized from that too. Anything that was like spammy or keyword stuffing, AI written content. It's such a big buzzword right now. People are starting to implement. I see other digital marketing companies. I've talked with them, and they're implementing it. But studies have already shown that AI written content does not rank as well as human written content. So we're still taking the old school route on that instead of implementing AI written content, because if we implemented that, we're implementing it at the cost of the client's results.
Yeah.
And while we sell SEO, what we really sell is a result. That's the expectations from our clients. We're all about long-term relationships, not in it for 1, 2, 3 months. I want to get married to our clients, all of them. Yeah. Now I got a fiance, but married to them.
You get the point, yeah.
But if you don't get the result, people don't stick around. So, we do, and we don't cut the corners, right? A lot of people, they check the box. Oh, we built you a backlink because we got you on Foursquare, City Square, whatever fucking directory it was. We're literally scraping through directories to find blogs that are relevant, checking the IP addresses, making sure it fits in the budget, making sure it's relevant, writing content, sending it to them, negotiating pricing, then getting it on there. Final result is a link. And that's all the clients see is just, we got a link on this other website through a guest blog. But the shit that we had to go through to get there is why, we're priced at what we value, right? A lot of other people create an account on Angie's List, submit my submission, boom, I'm on Angie's List. Now I can check the box to the client and I got a backlink for them. And that's bullshit. That's not what's gonna get them a result. Some people are just trying to check boxes instead of actually get the client results.
I love that, man. Talking about results, you went from being a personal trainer making what, 3-4K a month?
Yeah, about that,
to
3-4K.
$2 million annually?
Yeah, we're just
that's
shy
crazy,
of
man.
doing $2 million annually for the most part, all reoccurring as well, which is pretty cool.
How does it feel?
It's cool. It's different. It is.
just even buying your first Rolls Royce, man. Like, when did you buy it?
I think like three months ago. Yeah, got it.
How much were you waiting to make to be like, all right, I deserve it?
I don't know. I think once we got past like the 100K a month mark is kind of where that was a goal for the longest. You know, I had my first goal was, you know, I felt like it was all going to come. The mindset was there. Maybe the bank account wasn't there just yet, but my mindset for sure was there. I had really great mentors, and I always had a vision, and I knew I would do whatever the fuck it takes to get there. So like first goal is we all have that number, 8,333.33333 repeating on my whiteboard. So that's 6 figures for those of you that don't know the math. Not you guys, but anyone watching. But that was it. And then obviously million. So 10x that. So 83,333.33333. And I was like, okay, well, we got the million. Now let's do 100K a month. That number's pretty cool. Did that, and you know, we're just shy of 2 million, but it's definitely different. It's a lot. Honestly, we just are very focused on having a badass service that people stick around for. They want it. They get the results for it. You know, I showed you guys that one client that they were doing like 61 phone calls or 63 phone calls, 60-something phone calls every single month. When they got on with us, about 6 months later, they were having about 261 phone calls.
That's crazy.
Every
Insane.
month.
Yeah, and that's
So
amazing because all of those are like hot leads that people that actually like looking for the
yeah,
services.
like
It's
I mean,
crazy. Yeah.
what does an extra 200 phone calls a month do for a business?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It's not even just 200 phone calls. It's like 200 phone calls that came from SEO.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I mean, these
organically.
people are extremely in desire, that they desire the person's service so bad that they're willing to skip the ads and search through the organic to find that business, vet them, and then submit a lead form or call.
Yeah.
It's a completely different lead than like a paid ad lead or like a social media lead or whatever it may be. Like an SEO lead usually are the ones that are ready to buy.
Yeah, so that's a very, very good point. And, you know, obviously we're running ads on social too. You guys do as well.
100%.
Social works, don't get me wrong, but it is a bait and switch method. Versus if someone is Googling for that service, they already want it. You don't have to sell them on wanting the service because they were on this platform, selling them on the service and then selling them on you. If they're Googling SEO company near me, they want the service. So I don't have to sell them on that. I just need to get in front of them first and be that number one option. So, you know, to your point, yeah, you know, it did close. The leads close at a higher percentage because those people are already teed up. Right? If we're doing SEO for a roofing company and someone clicks the ad for roofing near me or whatever, roofing St. Pete or roofing Tampa, they need a roof. It's just getting in front of them. And most people do go to the top 3 results on that first page. Rarely, I mean, it exponentially drops after 3 to 4. And I say the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google because nobody's going to look there.
That's hilarious.
So let's talk about like paid ads versus SEO, because I think that most people, they compare them when really you should like collaborate them. Because with paid ads, I feel like it's way more controllable than SEO. I might be wrong. Maybe you can elaborate more on that. But I feel like when you mix the volume that comes from the paid ads with the quality that comes from SEO, that's when you can really like control your business and still be able to afford to get whatever you need, like service-wise, whether it's hire your company or hire a paid ads agency or hire an operator or whatever, or a marketing director, so that they can actually like marry these two like services to be able to actually scale. Do you mind like talking about that a little bit?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think every successful company has a short-term and a long-term strategy. And not saying the ads that is only short-term, because it's also long-term as well. But having both are really good, and they work in unison, right? Let's say we bring in a lead through Google, qualified, they want the service. As far as qualified goes, they already want the service. Now I'm sure Facebook Pixel, you're redirecting and retargeting them on social media as well. So they may have come in through Google because they wanted the service. Maybe they didn't take action and now they're being retargeted on social media. So a lot of it does work very well. It's good to accompany ads with SEO. And again, diversifying where you're getting your leads from is also very attractive. As well. So it's good to not put all your eggs in one basket. I always encourage doing both. Run ads, do SEO. Also from a long-term standpoint, you know, if we're talking about Google PPC, right? Let's say you want to go from 1,000 clicks to 2,000 clicks. and we can break it down in the leads, but we'll just call it clicks because what do? You pay per click.
Correct.
Every single time you want to grow, then you need to increase your budget. However, search engine optimization is, it's a little bit more expensive in the front end while you're getting up there. But once you're there, there's websites we've taken with 28 people a month to then like 1,500 people a month to then 8,500 people a month. They started off with 28 people, this many people on their website. Whoa, that many people on their website to 8,500 people a month on their site. Our services stayed the same. If they wanted to do that same exact thing with ads, pay per click, imagine 28 to 8,500. How much would they have exponentially had to increase their budget to get there? So long term, it's very cost effective for businesses as well. It's really good to diversify them. And it's very sustainable. There's some people that we've just worked our magic and we got them exactly the result they wanted. So they're like, hey, okay, we're good. We got the leads coming in. You got us an extra 200 phone calls a month. Let's put it on pause. I like to check on it every couple of months just to be like, hey, by the way, just in the event that maybe it does drop, I can be like, hey, you want to get back started? And in that event, I haven't seen it. We're still number one. So it's very sticky. Now, if there were a lot of people in that space that were also doing SEO, that's kind of the downside if you do pause SEO, because then your competition can
catch up,
take that position. Exactly. So, it's really good to run ads and do search engine optimization, not put your eggs all in one basket. It is just a sustainable result. It is more long-term, which is the big problem, right? A lot of the businesses that we talk to, you need to have a long-term mindset with it, right? It's not like leads when it comes to ads. You start a campaign and then, you can start getting them leads in the first month.
Yeah. When you say long term, what do you try to tell people to like hold off on until they actually start seeing results?
Yeah, and I say long term, but 3 to 6 months ain't shit.
Yeah.
I always tell people, or do you plan on being in business for at least 3 to 5 years? Then you should start this right now.
Makes sense.
But 3 to 6 months, I think most of the industry standards are 6 to 12 months. I feel confident in the way that we get our service done in the matter of time and everything, that I like to set expectation timeframes from 3 to 6 months. If it's something that's a little bit more competitive, or we're starting with a website that has no SEO history, or we're doing more of a national campaign, it might be closer to that 6 month. If we're talking about, local restaurant or a local based service or something like that, we can see results as soon as 3 months. If we're not starting from, the bleachers or the parking lot, if we're on the field, or at least on the bench when we start with them, that helps, right? Because a lot of it is kind of like that snowball effect analogy, right? In the beginning, it takes a fucking lot in the beginning, especially if you're starting from like 0 authority scores, 0 SEO, brand new website. There's no domain age, which works very similar to credit age, right? That's 15% of your credit score is how long you've had that credit. Same thing, there's what's called domain age. And if that domain hasn't had a lot of age to it, that's going to work against you. So it just really depends also where we start, how I set that expectation.
That makes sense.
I was going to ask you like a personal question, just because like even for us, I know we are using Wix right now, and you said you will never even work with people that have Wix. So we are transferring over to WordPress. How do you transfer over without losing your current ranking on like the landing pages and so forth?
Sure, absolutely. So, we do a clone. The biggest thing is carrying over like a lot of the verbiage. There is going to be a chance, I think if you move from Wix to WordPress, you're going to increase no matter what.
Naturally.
But what I've seen is with the website transition, what I've seen is a lot of people will do a website redesign, and there's a lot of blog content on the back end that was ranking and probably generating leads that they didn't even know about because they didn't even do an assessment of their website before they did this transfer. The web design company got their payment, designed the new front end. It looks pretty, but they didn't carry over all of the back end pages that we created, all of the blog content. There's people in the past that we've worked with and then did not work with, and then they did a website redesign and their leads tanked because a lot of the pages that we built for them with the intent of SEO, blogs that we built with the intent of SEO, they weren't carried over. They just carried over their navigation. Home, about, services, contact, that's it. And they stripped away all of the verbiage, right? We talked about 1, 2, and 3. The last one was on-site SEO, implementing those keywords on there strategically, building pages. Like, let's say we want to rank for SEO in Tampa. We're going to have an SEO in Tampa page, SEO in St. Pete. We're going to have an SEO in St. Pete page. We have our SEO in Clearwater. That page comes up first page, right? So they did the website redesign, didn't carry over all of the keyword verbiage that was being used, and they lost it. So like they're looking at the graph, they're ranking for all of these keywords, they're getting traffic for all of these keywords, website redesign, boom, it tanks and they lose it all and then call us like, hey, what the fuck happened?
Are you supposed to transfer over the exact URL too? Is that a thing or no?
Yeah, so the exact URL, right? Let's say we're building domain authority. Authority is assigned, that authority score is assigned to a specific domain. You do want to transfer it over as well, because if you did have any authority on there, you want to keep that. So
But what about like the individual ones, like for like a specific blog where it's like Gentech Marketing /blog
yes, you want to keep
whatever.
the URL structure the same as well.
Because I did overhear that one once.
Because that specific URL is the one that ranked for a specific. I mean, you can always set up redirects, but I like to try to keep it very similar to mitigate any loss.
100%. So just to give you some background on our viewers and who's listening to the podcast and whatnot. So it's either people that are already business owners or already entrepreneurs, or people who want to become entrepreneurs. They're just looking for guidance to take that first step. So I love everything technical that we're talking about, but I really want to pivot to talk about you and why you started and why you decided to go down that path. I'm sure money is a motivation, but I'm sure there's other motivations as well, because typically the person who chases the carrot runs away, right? So, but if you're attracting money, that's how you're able to hit the numbers that you're hitting. So the people who are watching, in order for them to be able to become the person that you have become in your business, like I really want them to see the journey from start to where you're at now. Because I'm sure you're not where you're at now because you're just good at SEO. You're good at business. You're good at networking. You're good at connecting with people.
Leadership is a big
100%.
part too,
I mean,
yeah.
you met me through a connection, right? So why don't we like go back to day one? I know that you were getting business given to you through referral basis at the beginning. Why did you decide to start your own business versus treat it like a side hustle and still work at the company you were at?
I don't know. I just knew I could do it. I knew I could do it. There was something that I was also doing at that time, my personal training. I got away from personal training, got into sales, sought mentorship. I had a mentor that taught me a lot. I mean, he had me go to every type of leadership conference, sales conference, personal development conference. I was like basically on a schedule. He said, I'm gonna brainwash you, but you know, it's for the good. Your brain's going to be washed. And I needed that. And I think a lot of people need that. You know, a lot of people, brainwash is a negative connotation. I think 95% of people need to be brainwashed.
I feel like we all are brainwashed, but in what type of way?
In what type of way,
we all have our own way of thinking.
Exactly, 100%. And I think we've all had our brain washed in that positive way, which is why we're all sitting at this circle right now, right? But he did that to me, and he changed my mindset. I stepped up as a leader. You know, I was doing a lot of what you said, networking. I wasn't scared to do that. Me and my friend, we would go out. This is when I, you know, not for this business, but when I was doing sales, right? Because the way that it kind of rolled into a business too is I knew how to do SEO and I knew how to do it very well, but I didn't know sales. I just happen to have learned sales through selling travel memberships with, you know, this team and my mentor and everything. So then I was like, oh shit, now I can sell the skill set that I know and grow this to be a company. And that's kind of how it developed. And me and my buddy Jordan, we would go out with like, you know, who can make the most contacts tonight? You know, it's like going out to network and make it a competition and gamify it and make it fun. So, you know, it kind of, you know, we got uncomfortable doing all of that, going up and giving sales presentations in front of hundreds of people. So like a lot of these things, it was just putting myself in challenging positions that forced me to get uncomfortable to now, like a lot of the things that most people fear are just easy. I'll get up in front of 1,000 people, which most people are like, fuck that.
Yeah. Who was mentor? How'd you find them? Or did they find you?
No. Well, kind of. Actually, he found me. He fucking pulled me out of the gym one night. So I was working out. One of my best friends, couple best friends, Jordan Morgan, it's her dad. I always knew she came from like a well-off family, killed it, all of that. You know, they had everything that I wanted to. And then I saw him, super sharp dude. They were doing a presentation selling memberships on campus. This was when I was still in college. And it was like 9 o'clock at night. I was in the gym working out. Jordan calls me. He's like, hey, what are you doing? This is actually a funny story. He's like, what are you doing right now? I was like, I'm in the gym. Click, hangs up. Doesn't say anything. Next thing I know, I see them walking into the gym because they were already on campus. I was on the campus gym. Then I see her dad, and I was like, oh, shit. Here we go. He's like, hey, what are you doing right now? I'm like, clearly working out, but I'll be done in 30 minutes. Why? What's up? He's like, I want to sit down with you and show you what I'm working on in 30 minutes. And then I showed me what they were working on. I loved the concept. You know, he told me on the guidance and everything that was there, which 100% was there. And I was like, man, this guy's got everything I want. This is exactly what I need. So I just started running with them, and we built a big-ass team. Sold I don't know how many thousands of memberships in there. And, you know, that after doing that for a little bit, doing that while personal training, that's when I got connected with the tattoo company. And then I started building that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to stop personal training. I'm going to stop, you know, selling travel, and I'm going to go all in on this business. And this is what I'm going to make happen.
What do you think he saw in you? What do you think he saw in you?
So he asked Morgan and Jordan, who do you know is the most influential person on campus? Who do you think's one of like the biggest leaders on campus? Who's the guy? And they were like, oh, that's easy. That's Kristian. So, yeah, I think that's how it started. But
How long ago was that?
What's that?
How long ago was that?
God, I don't know, 10 years ago.
What would the guy like? What was the business for the guy? Was it also like marketing or SEO or anything?
It
like
was
that?
it was sales.
It was sales.
I was strictly doing sales. I was selling travel memberships. It was basically the Costco and Sam's Club for travel. What they would do is they have a big membership that they leverage, just like Costco does. Costco goes to Heinz and says, hey, we have this many members. We want this much ketchup at this price. They would do the same thing and say, hey, we have 2 million members. We want to get 1,000 Hyatt rooms at this price. And obviously, versus me booking one room by myself or them buying 1,000 and then passing that savings on to the member. I mean, I can still sell the membership if you're interested.
Always trying to say. What would you say? What would you say the biggest problem you faced, like, and when you started your business?
I guess like a lot of it was structure, man. A lot of it was figuring it out, but I'm like a ready, fire, then aim type of guy. You just gotta, you know, I think one of the biggest things that holds everybody back, even when it comes to working with us, right?
Yeah.
People, so, like I'm the red personality type. Like, I don't know, personality test, or we called it a shark, right? And then there's like the yellow or the green. The green's very analytical. Some people sit there and like, okay, let me analyze, and they never end up making a decision because they're so analytical. I'm working on that part of myself too, right?
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about, I don't know, you know, like some of these things. Obviously, I'm just like, go. And figure it out as you go. Jump, grow your wings on the way down. I got like analogies for all of it. But
What was the problem again?
the problem was just I wasn't too, as far as the operations, I think was my issue, right? I had a good service, and I knew sales, so I could grow that aspect. But then like operations, like, okay, what's this system? The systems and processes, the operations, that part I wasn't too well off on. Obviously, there's still some things that I need to work on, but a lot of it was just figuring it out myself. You know, I was part of a Arate, Andy Frisilla, and Ed Mylot's entrepreneurship group where I learned a lot about that, right? If you got to say it twice, record it. If you want to duplicate, you need to have systems and processes in place that you can plug someone else. So we started recording a lot of stuff. We started writing everything out, systems and processes. So when we hire someone, plug them into that, and they know exactly how to implement our services, exactly how I would want to implement it, exactly how I would implement it. You know, and just kind of working on the operations, which is something I'm still, I figured out a lot, but I know there's so much more room for improvement.
Yeah, I feel
right?
like you never figure it out either way.
Yeah,
It's
you
like the
don't.
more
I feel like it, yeah.
The more you grow your company, because we're always growing, you're gonna figure more shit out. You know what I mean? And the
100%.
clientele
And I was thinking on
changes
all levels too, right? SEO with the new updates, it's always figuring it out. Sales, there's always ways to get better. I feel like, they say an artist's art isn't done until he's dead, right?
Yeah.
Same with us, right? You never stop growing. There's always more that we can learn, can do, and can improve until we're dead, right? So it's like, I feel like we're like art from an artist is that's the saying, but yeah, I mean, it's we had to figure out a lot of shit to get to, shy of $2 million a year.
One thing that I really, really do appreciate about what you do is the fact that you bring back everything to your mentors and stuff like that. Because a lot of people have this ego thing where they're like, yeah, I did it all by myself. You know what I mean?
No.
You're always like, yeah, my mentor taught me this, my mentor taught me that, So this is one of the things that we always preach. But I feel like you have a question. Go ahead. I just wanted to comment
No,
on
you're
that.
good.
He's got a lot of
Go ahead.
questions, bro.
I mean, it's
No,
an
I just
interesting
wanted to
man,
comment
bro.
on that. Go
Trying
ahead.
to find out
Yeah.
how he got to where he got, so that
Yeah.
the viewers can get value. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask is about your friend. What was his name? The one you used to go out and network
Jordan
with?
Morgan?
Jordan.
Jordan, yeah.
Jordan. So, a lot of people. There's this quote that is mega viral in business, and it's that you are the average of the people you spend the
Yeah.
most time with. And I'm a super big believer in that. And a lot of people believe that because they don't know this millionaire or they don't know their Jordan, that they're not in the right circle. I'm sure you didn't just spawn and know Jordan, right? Like, I'm sure you had to do things to be able to put yourself in a position to connect with people that are the circle you want to be part of. Just like how I did with Amel. I didn't know Amel 6 years ago, and right now we're brothers. Same concept with Raw.
We're not brothers with
Right.
Rod, though, but
We're working
You're more
on
like
that.
boyfriends, right?
But the point still stands. You know what I mean? Like, if someone is sitting here listening to this podcast, they're like, yeah, that's great. But each one of them had someone else to push them during the lows of entrepreneurship. Because there is always highs and lows. It doesn't matter if you're making $83,000 a month or you're making $0 a month. Like, there's always highs and lows. So what would you suggest for someone who hasn't found their Jordan? What would you do if you had to start up from scratch again?
I mean, I would seek it out. 100% seek it out. You don't wait for that. It's the mentor was Jake. Jordan was my best friend. We would go out and network with, but my mentor was Jake, and I was lucky where it did approach me. But if I had to do it again, I would seek out mentorship. And if you can, pay for mentorship as well. There's just find someone who has what you want and be a sponge. Ask questions, absorb everything that you can. Put that ego aside, right? It's not I didn't do all of this shit on my own. I had a lot of mentorship. I had a lot of help. I asked a lot of questions. I joined groups. I went out to different networking events. I try to rub elbows with these people. I try to put myself in positions to be able to build that type of network as well. It wasn't just like a boom, I got this network, or boom, it's a lot, putting myself out there as well.
And then, like, a follow-up question to something like that is, like, when is time to monetize your network? Because I feel like a lot of people, they just go to all these networking events, and like me and Amel, like, kind of like joke around about people like this. They're like network event fiends, or like even event fiends. Like, they buy the tickets to every funnel event, every paid ad event, every SEO event. They go there, they get super hyped up, they get super motivated, and then they go home and they do nothing.
Yeah.
When's the right time to monetize that audience?
Well, I think if you have something good to offer, why I love what the fuck we do is because we don't make money unless we help other people make money. So I know that I can bring something to the table of value to benefit that person that I do want to network with. But if they have something like that, the time is right then and there. Right? I mean, that is the problem. A lot of people, I said it before, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is power. That's bullshit. Applied knowledge is power.
True.
And, a lot of people, like you said, go to these events. They learn all of this shit. They go home after the hype, hoorah, motivational stuff. And then that's it, done. Like, they didn't implement anything, right? We had a little conversation last week, I was implementing already. You know, it's like implementation, taking action is the biggest thing. Like I said, a lot of people analyze. Okay, let me see all of this information. Let me organize all of this information. Let me do this. And they don't fucking do anything with the information. You need to take action is the most important thing, right? It's like start that day, start at that event, start networking at that event, set a meeting for after the event. Hey, I don't know what you got going on, but do you want to grab a drink or grab some coffee after this or grab some dinner? I'd like to see how we can mutually benefit each other. Why not start that same exact day? There's things you can be doing, and then, you know, maybe present whatever it is that you do have to offer for them if you have something to offer them, right? This is talking, you know, if that person has something to offer after that networking event. But the time to monetize from those events is like that day. I think I like AOMA, all out massive action is my thing. It's just like.
Since you go to a lot of networking events and it was like a challenge between you and Jordan to like who's gonna meet more people, what is the one networking tip that you would give for people? Because bro, we go to networking events and we see the weirdest people, bro. Nerds, and they just make everything awkward. They're like, I want to talk to you, but you're just too awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would be your like biggest tip, or what did you use? What was your trick to network with more people?
Dude, I mean, maybe it's just because of how I am.
Yeah.
It's just,
you're pretty chill, bro. You got the energy.
I feel it's like
I'm a social
Yeah,
fucking
crazy.
butterfly.
Yeah,
I mean,
All out massive action, baby.
my fiance sometimes hates it because when we go out, I'll talk to every single table around us, but then
Yeah.
I'll end up getting business cards from everyone
Yeah.
around us. And,
Yeah.
you know, I've gotten a lot of business just from going out and being a social butterfly. And it's like, fuck. It's like I met 100 people tonight. And I'm
So
like,
for someone who's awkward, what would you recommend?
just
Stop being
do
awkward,
it.
bro.
Just stop being awkward, bro.
Great advice.
You know what?
Someone like B, for example, this guy right here. Like, oh my god.
That's what we keep him
I
behind
don't
the
know
camera,
if
bro.
they have a course out there. If they don't, maybe we should create
we
one.
should actually. That
Don't
would be
be
good.
awkward course.
Yeah.
But I think you know, it's for me. I feel like it comes natural to open up a conversation with someone. Okay, here's some advice. Find a mutual interest, right? Maybe, hey, I like your shoes. Those are cool. What are those? Okay, they're what you know. Then kind of work your way into a conversation that way. People love to be complimented. People love to talk about themselves. So compliment them. They're gonna love you already. And then
Yeah.
after you compliment them, then ask them what they do. They love to talk about what they do too. So just do that. You know, be.
I feel like the biggest problem with people that, for example, approach us is like they approach us and they're not even trying to listen. Like, for example, they would ask, oh, what do you guys do? And they, for example, would say this, and they don't give a shit what we said. They just want to pitch you on something right
Yeah.
away. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're not trying to build that relationship and that trust. And, like, for me to actually be like, oh, that's interesting. You know what I mean? Or who have
Yeah.
you worked with or anything like that. They just go in, like, yeah, I like your shoes. And, oh, what do you do? And that's pretty much it. And actually, I do this and this and this.
Yeah.
Do you guys do this? You know what I mean? And they start just
Sure.
trying to pitch us, you
Yeah.
know?
That's a big
that's
part.
For me, that's my biggest turn off. I'm like, okay, you're not here even to like actually network. You're
Yeah.
just trying to close people, you know? For
Yeah.
example, with me, with most networking events I go to, I'm just, hey, you're cool, I'm cool. Let's just exchange Instagrams, and hopefully one day we're gonna see like somewhere we're gonna like work together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like try to pitch anyone in anything.
No.
And guess what? Every time I go, I close someone not just because they feel that vibe. They feel like, hey, it was just like, if you need it, I'm right here. If you don't need it, good luck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
I feel like
Dunker
pickup for me
though.
was a big thing. Like
Oh,
I
what?
used to do pickup. Yeah, like pick up at the clubs, like the girls and stuff like that. I used to do that for like 3-4 years before I even had like a business. And you learn how to socialize.
It
You
is.
learn how to navigate like
Yeah.
body language. You learn how to approach circles. And a few people that I learned that I met that like learned how to do pickup as well, they're amazing business owners.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So personally,
'Cause
if
they're
you're
good at
awkward, go
networking.
watch some pickup videos
Yeah,
on
no,
YouTube.
that's
I mean,
true,
I did read a book called The Mystery Method by a pickup artist, and
There you go.
all about wearing this to peacock, and it was so funny. I mean, but a lot of it's funny, but it's true. If you just break that social awkward shell just by practicing, just by putting yourself in uncomfortable, right? Magic happens outside of the comfort zone. It's
Yeah.
facts, but it's like a lot of people say that, throw that shit around, but it's really true if you really think about it, right? My first, types of presentations in front of people, my palms were sweating and I was like nervous. I'm actually not, my palms aren't sweaty, which is cool. But that's why, because I did it so many fucking times that it just became second nature. I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the Wraith helps you connect?
A Wraith does help me connect. People do love the Rolls Royce. It is super badass. It's actually opened a lot of doors for me too. Okay, so Jason Skeldon, my buddy, he's the one that designed that whole wrap because we're doing that Gold Rush rally next month, which, by the way, I can't do a Gold Rush rally unless I have a supercar. So, I have a Wraith, which allows me to be part of that. And being part of that is millionaires and billionaires that fly in from all over the world. They ship their cars into the U.S. too. And it's a rally. We drive up from Boston all the way down to Boca. And all of them and their Paganis and Bugattis and all of these different cars. But I couldn't be part of that event unless I had like a Rolls Royce or a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something like that. So everyone there, if they got a nice car, for the most part, they probably own a business that helped them get that car. So everyone there is probably going to be a good candidate for our services. I have a buddy of mine. He's the one that invited me to it because it is a very exclusive type of event, exclusive group. Not too cheap, but it's a marketing write-off. Also, get a client or two out of it. It 10x pays for itself as well, especially with the network of people that are going to be going there. It does help open doors. And then Jason just did a video and posted it on there on Instagram. We collabed on it. My DMs from it. Hey, I saw that, Jason Skell just did your car. Then I went to your page and I saw you do search engine optimization. I have this business and I'm looking for X, Y, and Z. And, it was off of the car. I've gotten, some of my friends, hey, congratulations on the car or whatever. And then someone reaches out to them. Hey, that's your SEO guy. How's he doing? Great. He's got a fucking Wraith. So he's obviously doing really good.
Because how much does it cost? What is it, like 4K, 5K? How much did it come out to? 3K?
What?
Monthly payment on the Wraith?
Just under 3. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I know it's expensive, but
it's already
one
generated more than
literally
3,000
pays
a
that
month.
off.
Yeah, it's already generated more than 3,000 a month in business. So it's paying for itself. It's over 6,000 pounds. So it's a commercial vehicle.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know.
Yeah, 6,100 and like something pounds. I just made the cut.
You just made it.
So it's a write-off. But yeah,
I remember you also told me that it's something that has been in your vision board since like back in the day.
Yeah. So manifestation, I love manifesting. I did a vision board with Morgan and Jordan, that couple that I told you I did sales with. We did this whole this vision board workshop, and it's really crazy how the fuck it actually happened. That the fact that when I bought that car, that same exact week that I bought this Rolls Royce, I got a memory on Facebook 9 years ago, and I was like, "Oh, look, 9 years ago I was doing a vision board workshop." Then I zoomed in, and I was like, "That's a 2-door coupe Wraith Rolls Royce, which is the same exact
Without
car
the wrap,
that I had gotten." And it just happened to give me a reminder the week that I got that car. Hey, remember you manifested this shit 9 years ago. It was weird how it lined up. I mean, I don't know, 52 weeks, but that week it was the one that it reminded me when I got that car that, hey, by the way, you manifested this. It was like a reminder to me.
Yeah.
It was.
What else did you have on
really
there?
Weird and nuts.
What else did you have on the?
I had a
the
ring
vision?
on there. I'm engaged. I had a big house on there. I just bought a new construction, pretty
Hell yeah.
good size house, two-story house.
Love that.
What's the next step?
I had words like just leadership on there. What's that?
What's the next step?
Yeah, is there a new vision board?
He ain't leaking all the secrets.
I need to, I need to
can
make
hold you
another
accountable
one.
for
So
the
the
next
biggest
9
part
years.
about manifestation is then also following up with action, right? Because some people say, if you think about it, you'll get it. If you think of it, and people just think. And then,
Lamborghini.
where is it? Where's the Lambo? Where's the Lambo? It's not here yet? No. A lot of people manifest without action. And you need to take action. You need to, what is it? Visualize, but then you actually have to actualize.
Yeah.
And some people just visualize. But you do need to have that. And some people actualize, but they don't visualize, so they have no direction on where they're going. And that part's important too.
One thing. Go ahead, bro.
But as far as what's next, I don't know. Maybe a house on the water. I honestly, what I'm just seeing right now is just investing. That's kind of where I'm at. House, great. Car, awesome. Girl, great. Everything's good. Like, I just need to build this, keep servicing our clients, doing the best at our service. And then for me, just personally, is invest, diversify, put my money to work.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I envision. Eventually, nice new construction on the water would be cool too.
One thing that I really respect about you is that you are very vocal about like your significant other. I feel like in today's like hustle culture, like it's like a flex to be around all these girls when I am with one woman and I am engaged as well. I know we were talking about that. So I think that to me is the biggest flex is how like aiming to have a family. Emel just became a dad, by the way, guys. So if you haven't congratulated him, hit my boy up.
Man.
Ra's about to be a dad very, very soon.
Let's
so
go.
2 months.
They're trying to get me to be the third. But point is that to me is success. That to me is success when you can go to sleep knowing that the person you're next to, you trust, you love, and you want to be with that person 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. Because to me, the car is cool, but you can get the car, you can crash the car, you can keep the car, you can upgrade the car, whatever.
Yeah.
The watch is cool. All that stuff is cool, but all that stuff is tangible. To me, that's not real.
Absolutely.
To me, like a big flex is not the house, it's not the car, it's not the watch. The big flex is the person that someone is becoming by acquiring these things. Like to me, like let's talk about the car, for example. When my friends that I was in college with, they see me driving the car that I'm driving, similar to you.
What do you drive again? Just drop it for the podcast.
So right now I'm driving a Urus, and they think it's crazy. They think it's crazy. They're like, why would you ever spend that amount on a car? And to me, it's just like the car is so low compared to like where we want to go.
Yeah.
That even if I had 3 of them, it's not gonna matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, like I already achieved.
You can buy one every month.
Who cares, bro?
I'm trying to convince him, bro, but he ain't listening.
And then just start a rental company.
And that's what I mean is like to us, like to you, the Wraith was a goal. Now you hit the goal.
Yeah, it was
now
like a milestone. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're looking at it, you're like, whatever. I would much rather like upgrade my relationship or upgrade my business. And that to me is the biggest flex, is becoming the person that is the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck the
It's
material stuff.
who you become on the journey is like
100%.
Like, yeah. I mean, I look at some of the shit that I posted on Facebook 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh man, dude, you'd be proud today talking to myself 10 years ago or whatever.
As it should be.
It's like that Matthew McConaughey, it's like, who's your hero? And he's like, me in 5 years or me in 10 years. That speech that he gives when he wins, I think it's like an Oscar or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, that's just, you always want to it's not a competition between me and that or that or that person. I'm in competition with who I was yesterday.
I love that. I want to bring up the fact that you mentioned that the artist doesn't stop working on themselves until he dies.
Yeah.
What's your exit plan? Because I'm sure you don't want to run the SEO until you die. What's your exit plan?
Well, I mean, I talked a little bit about it just now, right? Just investing.
Well, with the company, the SEO company.
Yeah, eventually we'll exit.
Do you have a number?
I'm comfortable with 30 to 40. Just thinking about what Uncle Sam's gonna fuck us on after the fact that we sell it. So really now we're looking at 20. if I go 30, they'll probably take 10. So I'm taking that into consideration. I don't know.
Definitely.
I'm cool with 30, 40. I'll put 10 away. And I mean, that's a comfortable ass life.
Yeah.
Making that invested 10%. Whatever, taking 10, what's that? I'm making $1 million a year passively, just not having to do anything anymore, and then just work on investing. But I don't ever see myself stopping.
Yeah,
I love to build businesses. I love to work. I mean, it's just I don't see myself not doing shit anymore. Eventually I do want to have a kid too. So I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I'll just take a year off the road and. We do have 2 right now. So not mine, but stepchildren. So it's kind of new. Stepdad is new to me. So I'm getting used to that part too. So we can't just take off for a year and just go travel the world or do something like that. But we do just do a lot more traveling would be nice. I would like to probably start something else and just kind of knowing everything that I know now, just make it a game. How quick, now that I learned everything through this business, I just trial and error and, just kind of shooting at the hip and learning it and all of that. But I want to gamify. How quick can I build something now, taking everything that I already know and applying it to this business and just going 0 to 100. And and just make it like a, I don't know, 3-5 year exit on that.
Yeah.
Just kind of almost for fun.
Yeah.
But eventually, yeah, exit. I don't know. I say 30, 40, but ask me in 10 days, might be 40, 50. Because I do want a comfortable life. You know, it's crazy. It would be cool. I have friends with jets, and it is nice to travel private. And to fly private, you're going to be spending 20,000 every single flight, not 1,000 or not $100 on Frontier, Sprite, Spirit.
Sprite.
But yeah, there's a
personal-
different type of lifestyle that I do want. You know, it is fucking. It's a lot for most mindsets to fathom. But I have that vision. Right, this shit was a lot to fathom at one point, but it's all we're gonna get there.
But the crazy thing is, like, you do get to that.
Yeah.
Like, even like where we are or where you were, like, I know we had these goals, but like we hit it.
Yeah.
It's not just like a crazy number. Like, it's doable. And even exiting at 30 mil, it's 6 mil a year. Say your EBITDA is like 50%, so technically like 12 mil. Like that stuff is doable.
Yeah.
With the agency model. I mean, honestly, like I can see you hitting that like within 3-4 years. If you keep on
100%.
scaling like this. So it's just crazy how like you're not limited by any way, shape, or form by having a business. That's the biggest reason I wanted to run a business, because there's no limitation.
Yeah,
Like, you want another 10 clients today, you can make it happen.
100%.
You want double your salary at a job, you ain't gonna make that happen.
that was a big
Like-
part of it for me too, man. I perform. I know that I will perform. I never will do anything that doesn't pay me based on my performance. Most people trade time for money. It's hard to create leverage. You're limited by 24 hours in a day. I could perform to the T, but I'm still limited on how much that I can make, right? When I was personal training, I do 1 hour, I get $50 back. There's 24 hours in a day. There's also so many hours I can fucking work. So I was very limited. And I knew that I was destined for greater.
100%.
I just always seen myself as performers. We talked a little bit about it shooting the shit earlier, but it's so funny. I don't know if it's being from Miami, born and raised in Miami. If you're from Miami, you guys know what I'm talking about. There's this hustler genetic. There's this gene that you get from living in Miami, seeing the cars all the time, seeing that lifestyle, being surrounded by it. I would literally walk across the street, go to Kmart, buy the 6-pack of Kit Kats for $3, go to school, flip them for $1 each, make 100%. 100% was $3. I was selling to my teachers, and we talked about it. I got my buddy Mikey. He was the bubblegum guy. George was the chip guy. I was selling all the candies, the Kit Kats, the Snickers, and all of that. And I remember my grandma. She walked into my room and she found my shoebox under my bed, and it was like a wad of money, all singles. So we're talking about like a wad of $200. She's like, "What are you getting all this money?" I'm like, "I've been selling candy at school."
She's like, put me on.
Yeah, put me on. So then I got my grandma hustling out here too.
At the freaking nursing homes.
Yeah, right.
That's amazing.
But I've always been like a hustler, and then everybody from Miami at one point sells weed or something. So I saved up enough candy money to buy an ounce and sold that too.
How do you get out of that game though? Because like I have a buddy that was in the weed game, man. He's been in it since we were in middle school, bro.
Yeah.
And he's still in it. And luckily does it.
What's his name?
Well, don't worry about it. You know him though. But like he was my motivation, because like when we're like growing up, bro, the shoebox, it wasn't ones, it was hundreds, and that thing was a stack.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, bro, like I need to do this. I'm not gonna like do what he was doing, but I need that money.
Yeah.
But like for him, it's hard to get out of that game, because like that industry, like that's what you're used to. It's not really like a business mindset when it comes to like, okay, let me build an online business. Like that's not what he knows. So like, what got you out of that game where like the money was easy, you can flip it easy? You're like, all right, I'm gonna cut the line right here.
I don't know. I think it's like just shit that happened to people that I know, right? Either being robbed or being caught or ending up, dead or something from it. I think that scare was enough for me to be like, I don't fucking need to do this for, all that.
What was the most you made like in a month?
Selling?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was such a long time. I don't know.
Nowhere near what he's making now.
Yeah.
Nowhere near what I'm making now.
Which I
Nowhere.
feel you. Because even like right now, like obviously I surpassed my friend like in revenue. Like he can't really compete with me unless you're like doing it at a crazy scale.
Yeah, you would have to be doing. I never did it at a crazy scale, but you know, I had a nice, comfortable life too, where I would misplace a couple $100 and not notice, and then I take my clothes out of the washing machine, and then $400 falls out, and I'm like, oh shit, I lost this in one of my pockets.
And it's always like a crazy like industry because it's easy to get into it. And like I know a lot of people that start there, but my concern is like if you stay there.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is you do get caught up. It's cash, no taxes.
Yeah.
It's all like, you know, you're just surrounded by, you just always have wads of money on you. So it's easy to get stuck in it and not get out of it. I didn't do it for too long. Actually, I did it for a while. From like middle school, yeah. I did it for a while. Mom, don't watch this. But yeah, just shit started happening to my friends to where I was like, no, you know, it's not cool to wake up to 3 guns to your head, and that happened to me. So,
But the thing is like you
shit
can't
happens
exit
and
out of
you're
that.
like, fuck this.
Like, you can make so much money running like a legit business. You can exit this business. Like you can get loans with this business, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. That's why we even launched like the HD Blueprint. Like even if you don't know anything about like running agency,
Yeah.
like we'll teach you, bro. Like it's
The biggest thing is the
not that
will or
hard.
desire. You know, it's like if you have the will to do it, you can get out of it. Just like anything, right? When it comes to working out, right? You know, I could be in better shape because I've done it. I've had the 6-pack. I've gone to the gym. I used to, you know, personal train and do all of that. But right now, my will is bigger on growing this business than making sure I weigh every single gram of protein that I eat and every single grain of rice that I eat. To have a 6-pack, do I desire the 6-pack? No, but once I do, I'll get it. Not a problem. But the desire and the will is big, and that's what my mentor kind of like, you know, when we first started talking, he's like, are you willing to work? He's like, I only require like 2 things. Are you willing to work, and are you coachable and teachable? Those are the 2 things, because if you have that, everything else can be fucking taught, and you have the will to implement. So like those are the 2 biggest things. If anybody wants to fucking do anything at all, you need to be coachable and teachable and willing to work.
100%.
That's actually huge, the coachable part, because a lot of people, they will, again, we just had one like lately that like they come here for our knowledge, and they come here for like, hey, we want to learn from you. Okay, this is what you need to do. I don't know if that's what I should do. I feel like I should do this. Then bitch, why the fuck are you here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you got a better, you're coming for us to help.
Yeah,
but if you know what? Yeah, it
it's
makes
a
no
lot of
sense.
people like that, and they just want to do their own thing with their own mind. Like I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But once you get everything off of what's already been discovered and it's already been working, you know what I mean? Like for example, you can add your own spin to it, you can add your own touch to it. But once you implement and know what your mentor already like knew and worked for him, you know what I mean or no? But yeah, we see that on a daily basis, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy, and these are people that are paying you,
yeah,
for advice from you guys, and then like say no, I'm gonna do this instead. Like what the fuck?
And it's funny because the people that actually follows, like they get results like that because it fucking works because you have done it before. You know what I mean? So the people that actually worked, like you can see after the mastermind, like 2 days after, oh, I just closed the 5K deal. 5 days after, I just closed another 5K deal. That's the one person that implemented. The other person implemented also the same thing. Oh, I just closed the 5K for like 3 months. And the people
person
that
and the
didn't
people,
implement,
and
the
they're
people that
crickets.
even did the one-on-one, that they like, again, they just have that stubborn mindset. They don't want to learn. They're not open to see the other avenues, and they can't believe it. You know, actually, me personally, the first 2 things, like I had like not a mentor, but someone who I was like respected a lot in the entrepreneur space. And the 2 things that they told me that I was missing when I first like talked to them, and I was like, hey, can you like tell me what the fuck I need to do? You know, I'm doing everything. I have a great quality product. I'm very good at making connections and communicating with people. I don't know what's wrong with my business. And they told me 2 things. They told me the first one is you don't believe that you can make that much money. You feel like you're not worth it, or you feel like your service is not worth it. You know what I mean? And they were like, I remember I used to pay them like around like $750 for 1 hour call. It was like 1 month for $3K, and it's 1 weekly call, 1 hour, 1 hour a week. And they were telling me like, he was telling me you need to like manifestation, like you were saying. And he was like, just say that when someone asks you like, what do you do? Don't tell them I'm a videographer. Just say I have a content creation agency that makes around this much a month and blah blah blah. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm paying you just to make me say that out loud, you know? And he was like, you have to say it out loud. You have to believe it. And the second thing, he was like, you're doing free work for the wrong people. Like you're doing free work for the people that's not gonna end up paying you one day. So you need to actually like leave those people away and just go for the biggest people in Tampa and just reach out to them and just do whatever you need to do to work with them. And that's what I did. And that's how I met Mel and Kristian, you know? Like I reached out to them and I was like, I need to sit on your lap and know exactly what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like fucking teach me, bro, you know? And
I
then
love that.
I joined them at everything they said from A to Z I was trying to do, you know? I wasn't at speed with them, of course, you know? But again, I was trying to catch up all the time, which is, again, it's just like relates to what you're saying. Like coachable is huge when it comes to
and
like...
belief. I like that your mentor said that, because in order to grow something, right, a business, you need to have two types of belief. One's in yourself and one's in what you're selling. Because if you don't have those beliefs, that person will smell it. They can sniff it out on you. If you don't have that conviction, if you don't have that belief, you're going to move, you know, timidly. You're going to talk timidly.
Your
if
energy
you don't
is different,
your energy is different. People feel that energy. Even through a fucking Zoom call, they'll feel that energy. It is different. So if you don't have that certainty, that conviction, that belief in yourself and what you offer, then you know it is hard to scale something. And I like how he positioned, you know, what you do, right? Because people ask, oh, what do you do? I could say search engine optimization, but fuck that. We help businesses generate more leads by getting them #1 on Google so they can swipe away their competitors' traffic. What sounds better?
Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. Like I want to sign up right now. Send me the link, bro.
Kristian, just so you know, we are getting to the end of the podcast. I want to give Raul Ramel one more question before we wrap it up. So what are your last thoughts? What do you guys want to ask Kristian? I mean, I feel like you dropped already value for 3 podcasts worth, but...
Honestly, I feel like the only question I have for you is just as a CEO right now, people would love always to know like how we run our days, you know? Like what's your daily day look like right now for an agency that makes, again, between $100,000 and $200,000?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I can pull that up on my calendar.
No. I'm just asking, what do you do a day? Like, just let me know, like, how does your day look like?
So, I mean, it's a lot where I'm at right now because, like I said, one of the biggest things that I'm working on is operations. I'm heavily involved on operations. Also, I still do work a lot of the sales aspect too. Not too hands-on with what we're generating online, but I do have referrals from my network and people that I know that I'd like to kind of, I like to speak with those people personally as well. So, I mean, every single day, like what my day looks like, first thing, wake up, hit the gym. Then I go in the office. We have team meetings starting at like around 9:30, 9:45 a.m. It's just an accountability call every single morning. Make sure, you know, what went down yesterday, what's going on today. Does anybody need anything from anyone? Communication is very important to us. So we have those calls. And then throughout the day, I mean, I'm working on our operations. I'm working on our systems. I do sales calls as well. You know, if my sales team does have someone that's a big opportunity that they kind of need to bring in the big guns, I'll come in and jump on and help them out with that as well. Talking to existing clients, just letting them know like what's going on a monthly basis on the campaigns, the success of everything as well. You know, some days, dude, I have like 10 calls. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm trying to get away from that. It is a lot, but right now we're just in hyper growth mode. I mean, you guys saw some of the numbers since July of last year. It's every single month has been a record-breaking month. Every single month for, I mean, a long time. So, you know, I'm okay with doing it. I'm okay with putting in the work right now. I'm doing the growth. I know that I'm working out the systems and I'm, you know, making it easier on myself, but I will do 12 calls a day, 15 calls a day for now, if that's what I need to do to get to where we need to be. And eventually, you know, I'll have the system in place where I don't have to do that. You know, right now it's just what I have to do with the growth that we're experiencing and this fast growth. Now I just need to implementing systems for this level that's going to help me kind of get off the phone like that too. Because some of them, so a lot of these calls aren't ones that are CEO decision type of calls.
100%.
They're shit that I shouldn't be doing. So, you know, I just hired 2 people last week. We're scaling the team. We're delegating some of these tasks to kind of get them off my plate as well. So I can do the role that I should be doing.
Got it.
I guess my question is, if someone's looking to start an agency, what would you recommend they do?
There's this blueprint.
Not sponsored.
Say you had to like restart everything that you did, what would you do?
Yeah.
Knowing nothing.
I would say learn a skill set, become the best at that skill set. It depends on what type of agency you want to have, right? Is it an ad agency or is it an SEO agency? You know, with what I did, I self-taught, and like all the information. We sell guides online, man, and it's so crazy. Someone purchases a guide from us, and they're like, "Oh, I thought I was gonna get all the answers or this or that. I want a refund." And they're like, well, what they requested, they're like, I thought you were going to give me the ins and outs of exactly how to do it, screen recording you watching you doing it yourself. And it's like, that information is still free online. They're pissed that they paid me for a guide that kind of guides them in the direction that they need to be going. It's all information that's really relevant. Things that I learned over 14 years, I'm trying to shortcut that shit and give it to someone, you know, so they can kind of, you know, cut that learning curve. And then they wanted more, and I was like, that more that you're asking is still free information online. I could do that, and I could sell you that, but it doesn't mean you're still gonna do it. So one thing is just learn the skill set, the one that you want to sell, the one that you want to offer, get really good at it. And I'd say probably learn sales, which is a huge skill set too. As you guys know, you can't grow a business unless you have the numbers, and the numbers come from sales. So I would say focus on that. Get really good, become the best at the skill set that you want to offer. Learn sales as well so you can sell that, and then kind of start there. Obviously, as you start making money, then you can start paying for mentorship, paying for courses, being able to afford that to help you then like structure the business better and whatnot.
I agree. Sales is definitely like the number one for me. And like a lot of people, when they're like, I'm not really a salesperson, if you're not, get someone that is willing to sell for you, even if you have to give him 50% equity.
Absolutely.
Because without sales, you're not going to go anywhere.
100%. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, at least give them equity. And if you can't pay them, give them equity. Or, I mean, honestly, most sales is performance-based anyway. So,
True.
You know,
True.
Just pay them a fat commission for each sale. But yeah.
Love that, bro.
Yeah, sales and learning a good skill set that you want to sell. I mean, that's literally how it happens for me. And just developed from there, and then I just had to learn a lot more skill sets.
You're gonna keep on learning, bro. It's all part of the process.
100%
We
until
all
we
are.
die.
Always 1% improving, man.
Yep.
Honestly, that was really high quality advice. You know what I mean? Because sales is the core of everything. And I know that you provided a lot of value today. I want to ask you a question that is related of how we can provide value to you. So where can the viewers find you personally if they want to follow along your journey? And what do they need to do if they are interested in getting help with their SEO through Lux Digital?
Sure, absolutely. Instagram, Facebook. Instagram is probably best. It's at Kristian Dan, Kristian with a K, Dan, or just on Instagram, Lux Digital Marketing as well. You know, you guys can DM one of those accounts. I'll see it. Or email me, Kristian@luxmarketingcompany.com.
I love that. And if you guys are going to come from the podcast over there, just make sure you come correct. That's all I'm going to say. So, again, man, appreciate you being here. Guys, just before we wrap this up, just want to let you know, if you did want to join the Agency Blueprint community, joining the community starts at $99 a month. So all the information that Kristian's talking about is available for pretty much anybody that just needs guidance. And the only thing we ask for is that by joining the community, all you do is you take action, okay? Because everything that Kristian talked about today all started and is right now because he took action. He could have stayed at the gym when his mentor was trying to talk to him in 30 minutes, but he took action. He went and met with his mentor. He could have skipped out on going out to networking events with his friends. He could have gone drinking, partying, but he decided to go to networking events because he took action. So if you do want to grow your business, listening to this podcast is good value, but taking action is a lot higher value, okay? So appreciate you guys listening in for this podcast. Appreciate you being a guest.
Thank you for
Provided
having
tons
me.
of value to our community. And we'll see you guys on the next one.